Hi everyone, it's Stacy. CPAPbabes.com. My website's up. You can go look at it if you want. But I just thought I would do a quick live, and I think I can upload it to YouTube when I'm done. But about what I do when I am sick and I need to use my CPAP and I can't breathe. So, I'm not a medical professional. I am just a CPAP user who gets sick sometimes. So the first thing I'm trying to do for when I get sick is to have a full face mask. So obviously this, what I have right here, is my nasal mask, right? But my phone charger's in there too. But the nasal mask is like not the best when you can't breathe out of your nose, right? So the idea with a nasal mask is you keep your mouth closed and you breathe through your nose, which I usually do, but when you can't breathe through your nose, then you're kind of effed. So ideally, I would like to get a full face mask. I'll show you a full face mask. I don't have one, but my husband has one. He has the Amara View. So eventually, and I'm talking right now to someone at seattlecpap.com, and I might be able to get a sample at some point. So ideally, I would just get a full face mask and use it when I'm sick, so then I can breathe out of my mouth. However, we don't all have the luxury of having two masks yet, right? So, I'm going to just tell you my quick, sick routine for when I do get sick. So the first thing I have, all these hippie remedies. It's crazy. So the first thing I do, the second I feel that tickle in my throat when I'm getting a cold, and I know I can almost always feel it, is I start taking elderberry syrup. So I just got a cold, I think it was Thursday night I started getting a cold, and it woke me up at 4 a.m. and I went and I took a dropper full of this. That's the first thing I do. And then the next day I went to the store and I got these, you can't see them, they're Elderberry Lozenges. So I do the elderberry thing. Momo, sorry, my cat, of course, is playing with all my stuff. So there's also a thing, it's called UMCA, UMCKA, that my friend told me about, UMCA Cold Care, and it's more expensive than this just elderberry syrup, but that's what it has in it, so that's good. And so I started getting the cold on Friday, and now it's Monday, and it went away pretty well. Sorry, I thought she was eating something, but she's just licking her paw. So that was cool. So elderberry is the first thing I do. The second thing I do is, this is generic, but I use Airborne just to get the vitamin C. Seems to work. Momo, are you on there? Are you going live, Momo? She's going live. So elderberry, Airborne. The next thing I do, these are my savior. These little, I think it's probably backwards, but Zicam nasal swabs. So basically you get one, you snap it out, and then you swab your nose with it. And that also, I have found, has shortened my cold significantly. So my cold's pretty much gone after a couple days, which I'm so thankful for. And it's because I caught it at the beginning. If I wait a day and do all this stuff, it doesn't really work. So with the CPAP, when I'm sick, I don't think, I've had it for a year and a half, I don't think I've actually ever had to not use it for a night. Maybe once. I can't breathe out my nose at all and I won't use it. But what I do to make that easier is the first thing I do is I use Flonase. So funny enough, when I went in, before I even had my CPAP, I went to the sleep doctor for a consult, and she looked in my nose and she's like, get on Flonase, open it up, right? So it's steroid, it relaxes. I don't know what it does. Makes it easier to breathe. So when you're supposed to use it every day, I think maybe it's bad that I don't know. So and it used to be prescription only, but now you can get it without a prescription, so that's cool. So I use Flonase. I try to use it twice a day when I am sick, even though I don't know, it seems to work. Don't take my medical advice. And then the other thing I do to make it easier to breathe, I do all this to shorten the cold, make it easier to breathe, is, I'm going to unplug this, is I take, so this is my CPAP, his name is Pappy, take a little cotton, of course now I'm leaking water everywhere, so I take a little cotton, and usually what I'll do is I'll put, I'm not an essential oils freak like some people are, sorry. And people like love them. A lot of people sell them too, which is great. I don't, but that's cool. So I take this essential oil, thieves oil. I'll put a drop of that on there, or a couple drops. And then, which I think Thieves has like clove, cinnamon bark oil, eucalyptus, rosemary. But then I will also put, even if I don't have Thieves, or some people call it, I think what Thieves is the traditional name. I think one brand calls it On Guard. I think doTERRA calls it On Guard. So I will take eucalyptus. This is like the best one for me. You can experiment with them. Put a couple drops of eucalyptus on there. And that totally opens up my nasal passages. So I get that. I put it. So what I have heard, what I first thought you're supposed to do is to put a couple drops in your water tank. But then I've heard don't do that because it's like bad to have stuff in your water tank. So I put the eucalyptus or On Guard or Thieves oil thing right there. And I close it. So that's just my little air. Oh, my air filter is gross. I need to replace it. Put it in there. Close it up. And then, so the air intake, you put it on. And then when the air comes through, you're breathing in like eucalyptus and all these oils that help kind of open things up. So with that, I've been pretty lucky where I'm not really needing to do too much when I'm sick. Like I'm not needing to go without CPAP, because then not only you're sick, but you sleep bad, and that sucks. So that is what I found. That is my live video for the day. I think I only have, what, 60 people on this page, which is good. Maybe, I don't think I can repost on Instagram. Maybe, but that's where all my peeps are. Hey, hi, Mama. Say hi to all the people. Do you want to wear a tiny cat CPAP? So, that's what I have to say for today. Stay well. Don't get sick like I did, but if you do, use all those remedies. Work for me. Find your own little routine of sick stuff to do. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye, Mama.